Mr. Chambers, welcome to the committee. Please state your name for the record.
Gary Chambers, representing myself here. I am not surprised by the things that we see happening in our country today, because this is as true to America as it has always been. I was born in 1985. I'm 40 years old. A lot of times when we talk about this history, we like to go back to the 1960s, the 1800s. But when I was born in 1985, there were no black members of Congress from Louisiana. I was 6 years old when Bill Jeffers was sworn into office. I was 7 years old when Cleo Fields was sworn into office. I was 9 years old when they took him out of office. I'm 40 today, and you're still taking things from black people. Anybody who has to cheat to win is a sucker. I'm gonna say it again. Anybody who got to cheat to win is a sucker. And you continue to do this because you don't have a better vision. You don't have a better plan. You are your ancestors' children and grandchildren. Thieves, robbers, liars, consistently. Because you'll go to church on Sunday, tell the Lord you love him. Pray, but you ain't praying out of the same Bible I'm praying out of. Can't be. Isaiah 1 and 17.
Are you directing this to us?
I am.
Okay. I'm asking that you don't directly. No. I'm asking that we don't be called names. I'm asking.
I didn't call you a name. What did I call you?
Liars.
Do you lie? All men lie. The Bible says that.
Mr. Chairman.
Senator Carter, briefly.
Mr. Chairman, this is public comment. The First Amendment allows freedom of speech and expression 100% without limitation. Mr. Chambers, put on the record your full comments, and if you see thievery, I want you to call it out. If you see something else, I want you to call it out. As your First Amendment protection is going to be protected in this building.
I'm not going to be called names. I'm not going to be called names. All right. And what we will do is stay on the four corners of these bills. The maps. Mr. Chambers.
If you are taking something from black people, which means we have congressional representation, am I going to be allowed to speak?
Yes.
Your mic is on.
Okay. If you are taking seats from black people, which we are entitled to by the Constitution of this country, then you are a thief in my opinion. And I'm entitled to that opinion.
I will not be
and
called
any
a thief.
Senator, if you're offended by it, that's on you, not me.
Right.
Now, if that triggered you, Senator, then you should go to bed tonight, and when you go to bed tonight, talk to your God and ask your God to change your heart, because that's conviction right there. Conviction. That's what it was. It did something in your soul. It made you feel something. And that's what happened when black men show up.
Yes, sir.
When black men with courage, conviction, and righteousness show up, it triggers something in you. And you feel a way about it. So you try to limit us, you try to steal from us, and you think that we don't understand it. Every one of the black men we put up before you stand head and shoulders above every one of you on this committee. And you know it. And it does something in you that makes you feel inferior. So then you come with these white supremacist tactics because you have the numbers, but you don't have the courage. Because if you were really visionary leaders, you'd run against these black men with fair maps, and you get your asses whooped. Louisiana is 33% black. 33% black. We deserve, we have earned, we are due 2 congressional seats. Now, if you take them from us, just know there will be a day in this state when we organize, strategize, and mobilize to take something from you.
It's coming.
And when you lose your House seat because you decided to be Jeff's boy,
Come on.
when you lose your Senate seat because you decided to be Trump's minion, remember today. Remember the people that came from your state, that you looked in their faces, that you act like what they said didn't matter to you. Because something somebody said thousands of miles away, who don't really care about any of you on this committee, to be honest. Nobody in that conservative party in D.C. cares about any of you on this city committee other than the fact that you have the ability to take something away from black people. And if you were anything like what America should be, you'd find some courage. I don't know where y'all get it from, but you'd find some courage. You could talk to some of your black colleagues. They could tell you where the well is. But if you find that courage, history will record you differently. Now, you may not care what history records you as. Bull Connor didn't when he was running either. Neither did George Wallace when he was the governor of Alabama. But 60 years later, nobody thinks George Wallace was a good white man. And nobody will think that you were good white men. They will think that you all were puppets who played a role for a president and got nothing out of it but thievery.
Shalom, shalom. I'll start off by giving all praises unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Recha HaKodash. Double honors to our apostles who are elders, who rule well. Blessings and salutations to you brothers out there teaching and enduring truth, sincerity. So, this is Rob. I'm out from Nebraska camp, man. And, man, it's in post-production. You know, all that BS, W.E. Du Bois spirit wind from within, it doesn't work. Okay, biblically, we're not supposed to set anyone, a ruler over us that's not our people. All right, so, you know, the Lord ordained it to be that way. They don't have a way to empathize or do anything. This is why we got to get out of this kingdom and get into the kingdom that the Lord rightfully has set up for us. That city that's built. All right. Trying to go into Congress and speak your piece, ain't nothing going to happen to that guy. But I want to read some precepts. In verse John 10:10, it says, "A thief cometh not but for to steal and to kill and to destroy. I am come that they might have life and that they might have it more abundantly." Yahweh Shai has come. All right, the thief is what I want to point out because he called him a thief, and Esau is a thief. Okay, he came not to do what, but to kill, to steal, and destroy. Okay, and no matter how you put it, no matter what type of opportunity you get, ultimately us as a people they will keep that yoke on our neck. All right, they will make sure that we're dead to the world, that we're known as scumbags and animals and dirt bags. Okay, that's their main goal. Okay, and when we go into Sirach chapter 12:10, it says, "Never trust thy enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness." Yeah, like the guy is saying, like he was making a gripe about the incredulities and injustices that Esau would place on us. And this is the thing, they leave an opportunity, but they'll create their laws, their grievousness, which they prescribe. They'll write laws to make it extremely difficult for Jake to have an existence. The opportunity would exist, but you got to jump through so many hoops. And then after you get done jumping, you ain't going to want to give up what you fought so hard to earn. You know, pretty much you could sit here and work to be a Senate, kiss butt, kiss tail, okay? Do all this, and then you get up to being a mayor or whatever, however the process goes, and, you know, you become these things, and you work so hard, think you're trying to make a difference for black folk, and you end up in a room full of Edomites, you know, afraid to lose your position, you know, because this is how you pay for your life, your livelihood. So now you stuck trying to make micro differences or whatever BS that they do, all right? But Esau, at the end of the day, they're going to, en masse, implement their ideas, their condescending tone towards Jake, because they have a perpetual hatred, all right? And there's no legislation that's going to stop them, all right? Because ultimately they have the power. As long as they have a military, they could just say, you know what, we're not doing it. Now what, right? Verse 11, though he humbleth himself, yeah, they could sit up there, and they like to gaslight by trying to play calm, trying to act like it doesn't bother them, trying to be coy, you know. and go crouching, which, he wasn't crouching the dude behind the panel. He had a large amount of pride, right? Yet take good heed and beware of him, and thou shalt be unto him as if thou hast wiped a looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust hath not been altogether wiped away. All right, so you address it how you address it. You beware of them always, and that's the problem with Jake. They always want to give Esau the benefit of the doubt instead of giving them the benefit of inquisition. All right, the incredulity. Never trust thy enemy, as the scriptures say. All right, because sometimes the enemy could be telling the truth, but you never trust them, so you treat them like they treat us, guilty until proven innocent. All right, if you come at me with a deal, offer me a small fortune, or I got something for you that can help, got this injection or whatever, you don't believe it, man, out the gate. You're supposed to believe it take it as a lie out the gate. But our people don't do that, man. And they end up in rooms like that trying to argue about something that ain't going to get done. All right? It says, set him not by thee, right? Least when he have overthrown thee, he stand up in thy place. And that's what they are attempting to do, overthrow and stand up in your place and create legislations to, whatever, the education system, or redirect money to certain groups, and everybody scream, we ain't got no opportunity. Look, man, you get from underneath the devil, man. All right? Simple and plain. All right? It says, neither let him sit at thy right hand, lest he seek to take thy seat, and thou at the last remember my words and be pricked therewith. Yeah, because that's how we got here today. That's how Herod got in his seat, through, even though John Hyrcanus had good intentions of converting Edomites into Judaism. But, once I forget the two sons' name, but John Hyrcanus II, that's which is one of them. And then I think it's Antigonus or Aristobulus or something around there. But John Hyrcanus II was the one that was allowing an Edomite to sit in his right hand and to take his advice. All right, and it ultimately led into Herod being on the throne, an Idumean. All right, so all that, cooperating, trusting Esau, it don't work, man. All right, never trust thy enemy. All right, that's pretty much it, because Esau tried to flip it and say, well, you're supposed to love and this and that. Hey, you our brother, you're supposed to love your neighbor, man. All right. So I'm not gonna, we're not the ones to lead the pack on forgiveness for the devil. All right, he's the devil. He need to repent. All right, that's another thing. You don't forgive nobody that haven't forgiven themselves or repented. All right, Esau has not repented, nor do we care to. But our people is fighting tooth and nail to make sure that they get that redemption that Esau himself is not even working hard to earn. So I want to get this last precept, and we're going to close it on out, man. In Jeremiah 13:23, it says, can the Ethiopian change his skin, or the leopard his spots? Then may ye also do good that are accustomed to do evil. All right. So even though it's talking about our people, you know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, Esau, is not going to be able to change himself. All right. Their spots is their perpetual hatred. Their Ethiopian changing his skin is them doing wickedness and evil, the fatness of the earth, the greed, the murdering, the killing, the unjustness. When you go into Esau's history, his wickedness is really permeated on the length he would go to get what he wants and to keep it safe. That's the real display of his wickedness, because everybody does something, all right? Because nobody's without sin. But it's the lengths that he will go to accomplish it, and the lengths that he will go to protect it. Okay? They would, in order to make a profit, because everybody try to make a profit, everybody try to cheat things and skim off the top. But he will take a bunch of people and beat them, create eugenics, and call people black just to get free labor. And then once he finished doing that, he will create laws, legislations, ideas, and even lie and try to erase history to protect it. Again, they will go to great lengths to accomplish what they need to do. They don't care who they mow down, who they take over, who they do dirty. And then they'll go to great lengths to protect it through their legislation, through their ideas, through whatever. That's what I've noticed, me speaking as a man, that makes him a devil in its entirety. It's the lengths he will go. Okay? To take somebody's land, he don't know how to negotiate and talk about it and ask for it or to pay for it. He would rather just set you up and kill you, man. Okay? And then he will blame you. He ain't gonna say, "Yep, I did it. So what?" He then blame you. Look at these Israelis. They'll sit there and bomb kids and then say they'll bomb kids, say they looking for one person, and then say that one person was in that building. And it's a war crime. And they'll get on TV and act like there's nothing wrong with it. So this devil has no limit to how far he would go to get his way. No limit, man. And it's always blood involved. Blood and consumption. Taking things. The thief came not but to steal, kill, and destroy. So with that being said, I'm going to give all praises unto Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rucha HaKwadash. Double honors to our apostles who are elders who rule well. Blessings and salutations to you brothers out there teaching and enduring truth, sincerity. Shalom.